FlossTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and this is my fiber web. Today is July 15th. It is a Monday and this is FlossTube number 18, I think. Thank you for joining me. I have a little bit different equipment set up today because, funny story, I was putting my 2-year-old down for his nap and I dropped my phone. It fell down behind the bed in the middle of the king-size bed that he then fell asleep in, so I did not want to try to climb under there or move the bed to get it, so we are using my laptop to film today. It seems fitting because I'm all over the place, so we are doing things different today. I hope it is not painful for you. I have a giant bin of stuff that I would like to show you, things that I have done since my last FlossTube. I have a couple fully finished things. I have a lot of whips. I have a handful of new starts. I have, I don't know what else I have. I have some haul. I went a little nuts with the Bring Out Your Kits Sal inspiration and I bought myself a bunch of kits on eBay. I will show you those. Yeah. So before I get into all of that, I have a couple of announcement type of things I wanted to talk about. Number one is that I will be going to the Midsummer Stitch, which is a virtual event being hosted by Lindy Stitches next weekend. It starts actually this Friday evening and goes all through Saturday, and is a purely virtual event where you can go hang out with other Stitchers. You can hang out with some FlossTubers. You can, I don't know, turn your video off and just lurk and see what everyone else is doing. So I'm going to attend that. Let me know if you are going to attend that. I will probably post on Instagram when I'm there and where I am, so hopefully we can try to find each other and meet up and say hello. The other thing that I wanted to mention is I had a giveaway in my last video for the Little House Needleworks Warm Winter Woolens chart, which I will put a picture up of because I cannot find it right now. And there were 22 people who entered to win this chart, and the winner is Sharon Edmondson 2923. So congratulations, Sharon, and if you could please email me at jensfiberweb@gmail.com with your mailing address, I will get that sent out to you. Okay, so as I mentioned, I have a big box of stuff and I'm just going to start showing it to you. I don't know if everything will be in the normal sort of order, but I am going to start with an FFO, but it is a crochet FFO, and this is Orbit the Dragon. Isn't he adorable? This is a crochet pattern by Project Arian. She has a ton of adorable amigurumi animals. Some of them are smallish like this, some of them are huge. I have another whip of hers that is Apollo, I think, the octopus, and it is going to be a very long project to complete. He is much bigger than Orbit the Dragon, and he has his 8 tentacles, and each tentacle has a bunch of little suckers on it, and each one is crocheted individually, and then you have to attach it. So I started working on one of those tentacles, and then I gave up and put it away. But someday I will get back to that. But yes, this is Orbit the Dragon. So he was very fun to make. And I don't know if you can tell, if you're not a crocheter, probably not, but like you make his head, and you make this little egg shape for the body, and then the tail is a separate piece. Each of the 4 legs are separate pieces. His little nostrils are separate pieces that you crochet and then attach. Same with his eyes, all these horns, and his little scales. I don't know what we call those. All separate pieces that you attach at the end. And he is just stuffed with polyfill. And the yarn that I used for him is, the purple is a Hazel Knits DK weight. The pink was a yarn club that I was in that was based on Parks and Rec. It was like mystery yarn, and this one was based on Galentine's Day. And then I know that this teal color for his tummy is a Madeline Tosh color that I also used in a sweater. So this was leftovers. And yeah, he turned out great. I was a little intimidated to attach all the pieces because things tend to wiggle around a little bit while you're trying to sew them down, but I'm very happy with how he turned out. So this is Orbit, the dragon. Also, this pattern is free on Ravelry. It's completely free. I think it might have been a crochet along at some point, maybe. And then there is a $3 expansion pack that includes wings that you can make for his back, as well as some extra things that can go on the side of his face, I think. And the original pattern has big floppy ears, sort of like a puppy, but I didn't want to do the ears, so I didn't do that. But there are more parts to this, so you can customize your dragon and make him look the way that you like, or her, I guess, I don't know. Okay, and then I have another FFO, which is my Needles Dance. So I have showed this project on my page before many times as I was working on it, and when I finished it, which side is better for the light? It's sort of like the light is behind me. Yeah, it's not like, it doesn't want to focus. Okay. So I framed this myself. I pinned it to some foam core and I put it in this frame that I got at Michael's for like super cheap because, you know, it was on sale and I probably had some rewards dollars or whatever. And I don't know if you can tell, but the frame has little X's across the outside, which I thought was obviously perfect. And the light color really helps this piece pop. And I love it. And I was able to fit everything in with the back that came on it. I did have to use one of these little, whatever you call these. I couldn't get everything to slide under. But anyway, it's all closed up and ready to be displayed. I love this piece. Oh, I didn't say. This was a collaborative design. It's called Needles Dance. It was designed by Ink Circles, Hands On Design, and Summerhouse Stitchworks. And I stitched it 2/2 on 32 count lock from Picture This Plus. Yeah. And I used, I pulled colors from Stash, but I just did close approximation to the called for, and most of what I used is over dyed, like the called for. Okay, that's everything about that. So, I don't think I had any new finishes besides those two this time. Oh, just kidding. I have another one. I don't think I showed this on my channel yet. I showed it on Instagram. This is my Mill Hill kit. I decided to stitch this both because of Christmas in July happening right now, and also Mountain Out of a Mill Hill, the stitch along that was hosted by Rebecca from Beck Stitches Everything and Annie from XO Needle and the Hay XO. I think that ends today. I think it was from the 15th to the 15th. And I just did this one. I have a few more that I will show you that I procured. And this is one of the ones that it was labeled as a pin, and the directions tell you to like attach the pin backing so you can, like, you know, clip it on your lapel or whatever. But it didn't actually have a pin, it had a magnet, and I don't know if that's true for all the Mill Hill pin kits now, that they all come with magnets instead. But I decided to make it an ornament, so I used all of the leftover beads and actually some leftovers from another project to make the little hanger. And I did screw up my tree a little bit. So this is called Tipsy Tree. I don't know if I said that, by Mill Hill. And I counted wrong, so I used a few more beads than I was supposed to. But I'm happy with how it turned out. And I didn't put anything on the back. I just cut it out and put the hanger on. Okay. Okay, so now I am going to get into some whips and new starts, I think. So the first thing that I have to show you is my Forest Fairy Tale stitch along, which is an ongoing mystery stitch along from Maria at Quaternion Creations. And here's where I am. So I'm not sure how well you can see with this camera, but I had finished the frame on time, and then I did part 1, which is Red Riding Hood section, and I have not yet completed parts 2, 3, or 4. So part 2 goes in this corner. I haven't even started it. Part 3 was this centerpiece, which I have done this stag, and then I also have this head, which reminds me of Cam the Stitcher's Dark Queen of the Earth head right now. And then the latest part that was released was this one, which is this sort of lizard frog dragon looking guy. And when I saw him, I pulled this back out so I could get started. So I think you can see I have one of his legs done, and that's part of his belly. And I was just working on this today. This is my current focus is to get caught up on this one. This is on a 22 count Aida from Bestitch Me that did not have a name, and I'm doing it 1/1 on the 22 count, so I have little teeny stitches. And I think it looks fabulous, and I'm using Maria's called for colors. So this is 3 colors of DMC, the ones that are used in the pattern. There's the 310, and then the green and the sort of red-orange. The next WIP that I have to show you is Prairie Wind by Carolyn Manning. I think I have a picture of where I was last time. I have sort of a rough goal to try to finish this year. I'm over 50% now. I think I'm at like 55%. And I pulled this out a few days ago. Last time I was working on this pale lavender color, and I completed that color and started on this sort of bright orange. So I have been color completing for a while. I had started in this top corner originally, and then I decided to work my way around so I could color complete. And then this last time that I had it out, I decided I wanted to see how much of this corner I could fill in. So I started filling in some of the other little pieces, like I put the orange down. I also, I didn't have all of the colors pulled for this, so I think I did pull the rest out of my stash, so I have them all here. I think that's right. Are there 9? Yeah, I have 9 colors left. Okay, so those are the 9 colors that I have left, and I am going to still try to finish this by the end of the year. So I'm going to keep plugging away. The reason I got this out is because I have a new start that I have not showed you yet on this channel. I shared it a few times on Instagram already. It is another ongoing mystery stitch. This one is from Velvet Pony Designs, I think is the name. And Kelsey from X Stitch and Chill had shared this on her channel, and I could not stop thinking about it. So I got the pattern. I think the first 3 parts were already out when I purchased it, and I just jumped in and I wanted to see how quickly I could catch up. And this one is kind of like, in my mind, this is kind of like the Unicorn's Garden, where just the colors and the picture are, they just sing to my soul. I don't know, I just love them. So I very quickly sped through the first 3 parts, and I got caught up before part 4 dropped, which was I think this weekend, like on Saturday. And I happened to get woken up very early on Saturday morning by my 2-year-old, so I got an early start and I had part 4 done that same day. It has a lot less stitches than the other parts because the slices go this way, so we started at the bottom. Now we're here. So, you know, this was like almost the whole thing across was fully stitched, and now that we're up by the head, like there's all this empty space over here, so it didn't take as long as the other parts. And before part 4, I was thinking this might be like Bambi, a baby deer or a mama deer. Velvet Pony has a lot of like like bucks, stags, whatever, male deer already, but I thought maybe a baby, but I don't think so anymore. This looks like a rabbit nose to me. So can't wait for the next part to come out. I think we should definitely be able to tell what it is in the next section. I think there's 2 sections left. I think there's 6, and that was part 4. So yeah, you can still join us if you would like. And it's very soothing, like big chunks of each color for the most part. There are some sections on the animal that are sort of speckled. Those are fun to do. And I am doing this one using Pattern Keeper, so this is another one where for each part I'm working on I can color complete, which is like super motivating for me. And obviously I'm parking some of the colors so that I don't have to end everything and then restart it when the next one comes out. And I'm doing this on this blue mottled even weave. I think it's a Lugana. This is one of the pieces of fabric that I got in a D-stash on eBay. So it was not labeled. I don't know who the dyer is. And I think it's a 28 count. And I'm doing it 2/2 with all of the called for DMC colors. I love it. Here are like most of the colors. So yeah, once I got caught up on that, I wanted to do some more block stitching, and that's why I got Prairie Wind out. Okay. Next in this basket is another mystery stitch along that I have started since my last video. This is Satsuma Street's Monster House mystery stitch along that is happening now. The first part just came out. Also this weekend, I think. And here is where I am at. So Jody suggested using raw natural fabric for this, and she said that she would not recommend white or black, which tells me that there's probably going to be white and black around the edges of the house. This is also, I think this is also 6 parts, and they come out once every 2 weeks. So there's going to be quite a while before the next part comes out. But I chose to do it on this 28 count kiwi linen from Fiber on a Whim. And like there's a bunch of greens in here that are close to my fabric color, but if any of them end up being on the outside edge of the house and they're hard to see, I'll just backstitch around it. But I don't think it's going to be a problem, and I love this so far. My cat's eyes are a little wonky. I might try to fix those. The eyes are just 2 like diagonal back stitches with 2 strands. So I might go back and try and adjust the eyes because they look a little questionable. But I love the skeleton. Let's see. And yeah, all of the colors are amazing, as they always are in Jody's designs. I can try to show you. I have some of them on floss drops, some of these purples and greens and pinks, and then I also have some still in the skein, and I have a few bobbins. So, funny story, my friend Stephanie at Cross Stitch the Globe messaged me one day, and she was like, "Hey, you should talk about how you use your master set of DMC on your channel," which I was like, "Yeah, I should," but the answer is like not well at all, because I wouldn't necessarily say I have a master set. I do have a complete set of DMC. I have all the colors, but the majority of them are on floss drops, which I have hanging on the wall. They're all organized by number. But then I also inherited a couple boxes of bobbinated DMC. Not inherited, I bought them on eBay. And some of the colors I only have in those bobbins. And then I also have a bunch that I have purchased, so I own them, but they're still in the skeins in like baggies. So I just pull them from the baggies as needed and put them on a floss strap when I use them in a project. And yeah, some of the ones that I only have in bobbins, I'm just waiting till I use it up, and then when I replace it, it will go on a floss strap. Like, I'm not going to rebobinate them, but so I have a complete set, but I don't really have a master set that I use, like, in that sense. And then I have a spreadsheet where if I have pulled any of my floss and put it into a project bag, I will note which project it's with, so that if that's the only skein of it I have, I can go find it if I need it for something else. So I'm not really using it in the traditional master set sense. And it's kind of a mess, but it's like another fun puzzle that I get to solve when I'm working on stuff. It's super fun. I did not get annoyed at all when I could not find an orange that I needed for Monster House this weekend. Okay, oh, I have another FO. This is a knitting FO. This one is going to be interesting to show you. This is my... What is this called? This is Plumpy by Andrea Mowry. It is a DK weight brioche and garter shawl. It is giant. Is this the front that I'm showing you? No, that's the back. It's giant. It is... The design is written to use either sport weight or DK weight yarn. If you use sport weight, you need only 3 colors. If you use DK, you need 4 because you're using... The skeins have less yardage in them, so you'll use it up faster and run out. I actually ended up using 6 colors because these are all leftover colors that I had in stash. This hot pink is the same pink that is in my dragon. And then I think this teal is from him too. Oh, that's why I got Orbit the dragon out, because I was trying to finish this and I ran out of this purple color, and I had 2 skeins of it, and one of them I was using for my dragon and the other one I was using for this. So I finished Orbit the dragon so that I could use every last bit of his purple color to finish up this edge of the shawl. And this is the back side. So I was using this like lighter mint color, and then I used the color from Orbit's belly to finish it up because I ran out of that too. So it was super satisfying to run out of all these colors, because that means I have no scraps left, no tiny balls of any of these colors. Everything is completely used up. So with this shawl, you cast on here, you stitch garter on both sides of the center spine, and then you start doing brioche on one side and garter on the other with 2 colors. And then there's more garter, brioche and garter, garter, and you just keep switching until you get to this end, where you end up doing brioche all the way down. So this was super relaxing to work on, and it is way too warm for the winter time, and these are totally not colors that I would normally wear, but it's done. And if you're not familiar with Andrea Mowry's shawls, a lot of them are like blankets. There is a term, schlanket, shawl blanket, that can be used to describe giant pieces like this, and like a lot of Stephen West shawls that you could totally curl up with on the couch. Or if you live in a very cold place, you put on your winter coat and then you just curl up in this, either under your coat or over your coat, and it's like a giant squishy blanket scarf. So that is Plumpy, all done. And I think I wove in all the ends, but I just need to wash it and block it. Put that over there. What else do I have in here? I'm missing something. Let me check my notes real quick. I have another whip, but I don't know where I put it. I worked just very briefly on Assembly Required by Ink Circles. I don't know where it is, so I'll put in a picture, but I had to go... my oldest son, Reed, his baseball season has ended. He plays travel baseball. He's going into 7th grade, and they already had tryouts for next year's team, so I had to take him to tryouts, which was like a couple hours long, and I brought Assembly Required to work on while I was there. I got a little bit done. I don't know where I put it, though. And then I also worked briefly on my Twists and Turns shawl by Stephen West. It was the mystery shawl a couple years ago. Last year's I finished. So I think it was the one from the year before. I got that out and worked on it a little bit. I didn't get very far though, so if I get back to it, I'll show you that next time. Oh, and then I had 2 more new starts. I knew there was something else. So the first one is for my Bring Out Your Kits sale that I am hosting with the Thread Gremlins. So I decided to do a new start for that stitch along. I do have a bunch of vintage kit whips already, but I wanted to start something new. So I chose this Creative Circle chart called 1674 is the number of the kit, I think, and it's called, or not kit, the chart. It's called Cottage Quilts. So there are these quilts on a clothesline and a little cottage, and there are a bunch of white ducks. And I don't know how well you can see, but there's like a ton of blank space on this chart, and the trees are really interesting. Like, if I hold it up, you can kind of see the trees are mostly just outlined, and those, the way it's charted, you don't even actually do cross stitches. They just have you like back stitching around the entire square. But I have some time to decide because I started in the center with one of the quilts that's hanging on the line. Does it go this way? The red is at the bottom. It goes this way. So here's my start. I started on one of the quilts. And this has been very fun to stitch so far. I love the colors. I'm just using the kit Ada, which did have the needle stuck through it, and it was rusty, but it was right on the edge of the fabric, and it was only like an inch that I needed to cut off of the edge, and I think it's still going to fit okay. Like, my margins will be a little tight on the right and left, but I'm going to make it work. And then I did have to sort the thread myself, and this one was easy to sort because the colors aren't too very similar, and I just wanted to show you I made these little cards with the symbols for each color. This one doesn't have any blends either. So I have 2 of these cards and all my colors on it. And this one, oh, I wrote backstitch only, so this one's used for a bunch of backstitch. So that is Cottage Quilts by Creative Circle. So I'm excited to work on that one. My mom is, or she still is, a quilter. She used to quilt a lot more when I was younger, and she will tell you that washing your quilts and hanging them outside to dry on the line is the best way to do it. It makes them smell the best. And they, you know, have that warm sunshine baked in to make them even more lovely to cover up with. Okay, and then I have one more new start, which is Jiggity Jig by Pineberry Lane. Just this primitive witch, small. It is 111 wide by 101 high, and I had this one. This one is from 2016. I had grabbed a mixed lot of Halloween patterns on, I think this one was on Mercari, and this was one of the ones that was in it. So here's my start. One of my witches is done. She still needs her broom, and I started on this bottom border. And this is I'm doing this on Ada. I think the color is Wren. I don't know what I did with the, oh, it's Wren. This is 16 count Wren from Picture This Plus. And I just happen to have the called for over dyed floss for this. in my stash that came with something else that's just been sitting around, so I decided to use it. It is the color is Charcoal by Weeks. So yeah, I did this in like a day, I think, so this should be a quick finish. The reason that I started this is because one day I just had this idea. I was basically wondering if I had enough Halloween charts in my collection so that I could start a new one every day of October, and then also a new one by a different designer every day of October, and I totally can. I don't even have to use my Just Cross Stitch Halloween magazine in order to do it. So I was sort of considering attempting that. So it's basically Mania, but it's in October and it's every day of October, because Halloween charts are like my favorite, but I only have a couple Halloween whips. So that's sort of what got me thinking about that. Also, Beck Stitches Everything and Crow Stitcher just started this Halloween is a Lifestyle stitch along, so I don't know if they have contributed to me thinking about Halloween, but I don't really do Christmas in July, so I sort of just skipped to Halloween anyway. And yeah, I only had a few whips. I have Jack's Bash as a whip by Plum Street Samplers, and I have Away We Ride, which I started earlier this year with Savory Sewing, Elizabeth, and I have like Assembly Required by Ink Circles, which is a skeleton, so he counts. But I think that's it. So I was thinking I need some more Halloween starts. I don't actually know that starting a new project every day is going to be the best choice. So I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I'm toying with the idea. So if you would be interested, or you think it would be fun to watch, like if I did sort of a blog style, I was thinking about putting them all on a decision wheel, and every day just spin the wheel and start whatever comes up. And then maybe I could film a little bit every day and have like a video once a week, kind of like Crafty Gaming Jamie does, but for Halloween, like a Vlogmas, sort of. Anyway, just an idea right now. Let me know what you think, if that's crazy. So I started Jiggity Jig because I have a couple Pineberry Lane ones, so I can finish this one before October and still start a new one. It doesn't mess up my numbers. Yeah, so maybe if I can finish a handful of my other whips that I have from when I did my whip parade, I sorted everything into what I think I can finish this year and what I don't think I can. So maybe if I can, maybe I'll pick a number and see if I can get that many done by October, then I'll try this. We'll see. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments or on Instagram or whatever. Okay, I have one more whip, I think, to show you, and it is a crochet whip. This is a blanket project. It is called the Woodland Houndstooth blanket. So that bottom edge is where it started, and here's where it is now. This is doing, so it's a houndstooth stitch, which is where you're crocheting back and forth, and you just do a single crochet and then a double crochet all the way across, and then you do the same thing on the way back. So you're single crocheting into the doubles and double crocheting into the singles, and it makes it sort of look like this, like interlocking houndstoothy pattern. And this is a free pattern on Ravelry. I know I'm using this yarn. This is the yarn it was written to use. I don't know, like sometimes when you buy this big box yarn, it comes with a pattern on the label. I don't know if it was that sort of situation or if I found it separately, but it uses 6 balls of this, I think it's Lion Brand something or another, but this does a lot of the work for you, since it's designed to look sort of like hand spun with multiple colors in there, and so they sort of fade into each other on their own. So you can just start going, and you're alternating 2 skeins at a time to get the contrast that you need for this. So that's another thing to note about this. You have to carry, since you're switching colors every side, you have to carry the other one along with you or cut it and reattach it at the end. So here's where I'm at on this row, and you can see I'm carrying the color from last time along with me, and I'm just crocheting over it with the new color, so it's there when I need it at the other side. And I've already put 4 balls of yarn into this, and I just started. This is the 5th one. I have 1 more left that I haven't started yet. And I like to work on this while we are watching TV. I've been working on this while watching House of the Dragon because this is super easy. I don't have to look at it very much. And it's calming. I didn't watch the episode from last night yet. So my husband and I still have that to watch tonight. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty good, like, throw blanket size. Okay. Now I think everything that I have left is haul, which is mostly going to be vintage kits that I found on eBay. I did also want to shout out a few floss tubers that I have been watching. I'm going to do an international edition of floss tube shoutouts. So these are some of my favorite people that I watch that are not in the US. I think they're all in Europe, mostly in the UK. So if you have not watched any of these people before, if you haven't checked out their channels and you're looking for someone new, then I would encourage you to go check them out. The first one is Maria, Maria the Green Stitcher. Maria is from Belarus, I think, but she lives in the UK, and her channel is lovely. She popped up on my YouTube landing page when she first started her channel, and I think she started out with like a whip parade early on, and I watched it and I noticed immediately that her and I have similar styles. We have some projects that overlap. And yeah, I love the stuff she picks. She's recently been doing some really cool videos where she's sharing like her top 10 favorite finishes or her favorite fully finishes, because she's been stitching for a long time, so to do like a full finish parade would be really long. So she's just picking out some of her favorites, and she has a lot of very interesting and like different types of fully finishes that she shared recently that I thought were very inspiring. So go check her out. Also, Lauren Cross Stitch Bunny, I have been watching her for a long time. She owns a cross stitch shop in the UK, but her channel is mostly about her personal stitching. She's super prolific. I have no idea how she gets so much done. She is also a mom with some youngsters, and she stitches mirabilias, and she does a lot of kits. She stitches like very colorful, like cute type of things, and has a huge variety, and I just am always blown away with how much progress she makes in between her videos. And then another one to check out is Sally from Flossy Sews and Grows. I've been watching Sally for a while too. I think her and I both did a Christmas stitch along a couple years ago together, and I have been watching her since then. I think her channel is very like soothing to watch, and she is doing a special, I don't know, event, a stitch along this year. She's turning 50, and so she's doing 50 new starts, and she's starting a lot of small things, so she's also getting a lot of finishes, which is fun to see. And then another great channel to check out if you haven't already is Caroline's Stitch Corner. I love Caroline's channel. Her and I are in some stitch alongs together now, but also I have been watching her for a while before that happened. So she's another one. I love all the projects that she picks. We have some overlap in style, but she also stitches some things that I don't, and she's really into sulky threads. I think she just completed her sulky set, and she like has them on display behind her in her videos, and they're very pretty to see, and so she swaps them out for a lot of the called for colors in the projects that she does. Her and I are both working currently on the Spring Quaker that we started for Alex, who is Salix Stitches on Instagram, for her birthday stitch along. And then maybe some other stuff too. I don't remember. Okay, and then the last one I have to share today is Claire from Love Poppet Cross Stitch. So she is a designer, and she designs under the name Love Poppet Cross Stitch, which I hadn't heard of before. But I think she mentioned me on one of her FlossTube videos, which is, again, mostly about her personal stitching. She does share some of her design stuff as well, but her personal stitching and mine overlap a lot. She chooses beautiful projects, and I love her designs too. She just wrapped up, I think it was her first summer-themed mystery stitch. It's called Dreaming of Summer, and it is so gorgeous. I will put a picture up of what it looks like. I am definitely going to be starting that soon. Even though I'm in Halloween mode, I can't get over how beautiful it is. I've seen a bunch of people sharing it on their FlossTubes and on Instagram, and now that I can see the full picture, I just love it. The little cottage is gorgeous, and all the flowers are so beautiful. The colors are like perfect. Can't wait. That's another one that gives me that like same excitement as the Unicorn's Garden and this Velvet Pony mystery stitch along that's happening now. So maybe, I don't know when, I want to start that before we get too much further through the summer. My kids go back to school August 14th, so we have less than a month left of them being home for summer already. So I want to start it before they go back to school. I'm also planning on starting the Halloween Quakers soon, again with Alex of Salix Stitches, and I think Erin from the Hathaway Stitchers is going to join us. Speaking of Erin, okay, I'm going to start talking about, first I have some, I guess you would call this Stitchy Kindness, and then I have a bunch of haul. So if you're not here for that, no worries. I will see you next time, hopefully. Happy stitching. If you are here for that, so I'm going to start with the Stitchy Kindness. So I had shared on Instagram a little while ago a bunch of the shawls that I have knitted that don't really get they don't get used. They sit in my closet. I love knitting shawls, but it turns out I don't really love wearing them as much as I love knitting them. And I was just curious, like, for someone who is not maybe a knitter, like if you would appreciate getting a shawl as a gift, because I'm trying to figure out what to do with all these. I have donated some in the past to like Goodwill, but then I always wonder like what's going to happen to them. I would much rather give them to someone that I know will use them. So I was just curious, like, would it be weird as a non-knitter to just, like, get a shawl as a gift? Like, I don't know. I don't know if non-knitters are into shawls. So anyway, I put up a poll, and most of the people said that yes, they would appreciate it. Some people said no, they would knit their own. Like, if you're a knitter who knits shawls, you probably already have plenty. You don't need someone giving you one as a gift. But Erin reached out and was like, I can't believe people are saying no. And she asked, she was like, would you be offended if I offered to like trade you a project bag for a shawl? Like, would you be interested in that? And I responded, yes, I would. And I immediately realized that it was very ambiguous if I meant I would be offended or if I'd be interested. And I meant interested. So Erin and I did a trade. So I think on their last video, she showed the shawl that I sent her. It was an Advent shawl that happened last year. So every day of December leading up to Christmas, a new section of the shawl pattern was released. And so I knit that throughout the month of December, and then I never wore it. So I sent Erin a bunch of pictures of different shawls that I had, and that's the one that she picked. So I sent that to her, and she made me a project bag. She asked me like what kind of fabric I would like and gave me some choices, and she sent me a project bag. I have a Cozy Town Stitches project bag with this very dapper frog. And then I have some stuff in here already, but I'll show you. The zipper pull is, it has a piece of fabric from the lining of this. Here, let me open it. Get this stuff out of the way. Okay, so here you can see the lining fabric, and the zipper pull is a spider in a little jar, which is from this fabric. And then the way that Erin does her bags, she puts a divider in the middle, so there's two sections, so you can either put two whips in, or you can put your pattern in the back so that it doesn't get stuck to the vinyl, but you can still see what project is in there. And she sent me a couple stickers and this cute card. And she sent me a Mill Hill ornament kit, which I will show you in a second. But I already have in this project bag some of my floss, or maybe all of my floss. I have my floss and my fabric for Halloween Quaker. So I have the pattern in the back section of the bag, and I have the floss and the fabric in the front, so this is ready to go whenever Alex tells me it's time to start. So yes, this bag is fantastic. It is very well made. I absolutely love it. Thank you very much, Erin, for suggesting the trade. I'm thrilled that my shawl that I made might have, get to see the light of day. I hope you enjoy the shawl, and I will definitely get a lot of use out of this bag. I love it. Okay. So, I still have all this stuff in this basket. So everything that I show you now is going to be haul. If you're not here for that, then that's fine. No worries. Where did I put the... I don't know where I put the little kit that Erin sent, but it was, it's the little Mill Hill ornament of the, cardinal, like the fuzzy bird cardinal. Did I leave it in here? I don't know where I put it. We'll see if I find it. But I also got myself some Mill Hill kits that I had been looking at for a while. I got these two, which are definitely not Christmas themed. But I also really like these Jim Shore, like the White Gnome series. So I think there's like 5 or 6 of these. So I got the one with the owl gnome, I got pinecone gnome, and then there's one more that I got too. Why are my kits missing? I got the one with the, what was it? He's got like a Christmas tree with birds on it on his head. I don't know. I must have put them in some secret place. Okay, and then I saw this one, on Instagram. Someone had finished this one and tagged us for the stitch along. I'll put the name on the screen of the person if I can find it, because I can't remember who it was. But she did this same kitchen skillet magnet with the chicken, and I saw it and I was like, oh my god, I need that. So it comes with this skillet, and there's a magnet and the thread, and this is a series, so there are a few other ones. There's a little pig, and then some of the other ones were like little houses or things that were not animals, and I wasn't interested in those. So this is the only one that I got from that series. And then I was thinking possibly for Christmas in July I might start this Home Sweet Home banner. This kit includes the wire hanger to hang the banner, and then I don't know if you can see in the picture, the Ada, it has like trim on the sides already, so the edges are already bound, so you don't have to really do much to finish it. And there's a little red tassel too that comes with it to hang on the bottom point. This one's from 1998 and it's by Dimensions. And then this is the only Precious Moments kit that I have. It's called Make a Joyful Noise, and it's just got this little girl and the goose, and this little girl reminded me of someone, so I think I'm going to stitch this as a gift for that someone's mom. I'm not going to tell you who that is, just in case she happens to see this. And when I ordered that one, the seller accidentally sent me the wrong kit because it has the same name. They're both called Make a Joyful Noise. This one makes more sense because it's a little girl playing a piano, but this one isn't even cross-stitch. It is like a crewel kit. And the outline of the piano and stuff is already on the fabric and the words, and then it comes with this yarn stuff, like acrylic, whatever you call that, and you just like fill in her hair and her dress and stuff. So I don't even know how to do that, but the seller told me I could just keep this, so I might do a giveaway for this. If anyone is interested, let me know. And then with one of these orders, the seller just included this as a freebie. So it's this little kit that came with a magazine, The World of Cross Stitching. So I've gotten an issue of The World of Cross Stitching before at like Barnes and Noble, and it comes like wrapped up, and mine had a kit. It was for a giraffe bookmark, which I'd stitched, but I made mine into a little pillow, which I've shared on my channel before. So this must have come with, I don't know if it says what issue. It says 2023. So yeah, this has everything you need in there to make these. And they're super cute. I don't know if I'll finish them in these like felt flowers, but I'll probably stitch those at some point. Oh, here's my other... Oh, am I missing Mill Hill kits? Okay. So Evergreen Gnome was the other Jim Shore one that I got. And then this is the one that Aaron sent me with my project bag. Christmas cardinal. And he has the little like funny fuzzy stuff around him. And I wasn't sure from the picture what that was. I didn't know if it was like... I guess, I don't know. I never really looked that close at it. But there's just like this little trim that comes with it. I don't know if you sew it on or what you do, but that will be fun. And then I found this Blossoming Birdcage kit. This one's from 1990. And this one reminded me of one of the Fabulous Houses, that came out recently, like the greenhouse one. Like this is a bird cage, but it's got similar vibes, I thought. And there's all the floss I get to sort. It looks pretty. I like the colors. And then I found a Good Shepherd kit called It's a Jungle. And it has a Triceratops. It's a jungle out there. I don't know, that one made me giggle. And it comes with this hexagon frame to put it in, which is like a thicker frame than I expected, but it's it feels like it's plastic. I got this Decorator Doubles kit. This one has DMC floss, and it also, well, you just saw it comes with the little frames. And it's got a boy going fishing and a little girl with a doll and some chickens, and I don't know why I thought that was cute. I just think it's adorable, so I grabbed that. I've been on a little bit of a duck kick lately, so I got this Mallard Ducks Walking kit. It's a Dale Burdett Country Cross Stitch kit. I just love it. It's not very big. It says 1985, which is the year after I was born. Not too many colors. It's a small piece of Aida. That one should be fun. And then this is another one that I saw somebody post on Instagram for the Stitch Along. And then when I was looking at vintage kits, I just came across it. I didn't search for this specifically, but I saw it and I wanted to do it. This is a 1997 Janlin kit. And it is stitched on black Aida, and I love the mountain wolf that's in the background of the actual wolves. I don't know, I just like it. It's called Northern Lights, so maybe he's not a mountain, maybe he's supposed to be up in the sky, but it's like a Mufasa moment, but with wolves. Okay, and then I got this sunset kit called the Hummingbird Society. It's got 7 different species of hummingbirds, and so like it has the names of the hummingbirds. And then look at all the pretty colors. So that one will be fun. And also educational. And then I have one more to show you, which is a Bernat kit called Autumn Foliage. And this one, the packaging that it was in was like pretty damaged, so I got rid of it already. But it's got lots of colors, lots of browns and greens. This one might be a pain to sort. I haven't looked at the color descriptions yet. But it is in 3 separate bundles, so maybe they take advantage of that when they're describing the colors, so you can figure out what they mean when they say dark brown or whatever. And I just wanted to show real quick that this is a hand-drawn chart. So like somebody got graph paper out and made all these X's and squares and triangles, and like that is the chart, and it is one big piece of paper with this hand-drawn chart. So like just that in itself is amazing to me. I was going to see if it said what year this is from. It has DMC floss. 1982 it says. Canadiana Needlecrafts. Okay, so that is everything that is in this giant bin that I wanted to show. Let me check my notes and see if there's anything else I wanted to say. I don't think so. I have a couple other things that I picked up, but I don't want to talk about them because I just did haul for 1,000,000 minutes. But I was going to show you, I have plans to FFO another one of my older finishes, and I just wanted to show you the frame that I picked out because I'm super excited. So this is October 31st by Cottage Garden Samplings. The actual chart has like some stars and ribbons around, and it says October 31st on it, but I decided to just do the raven and the pumpkin. And this is the frame that I'm going to put him in, and I just think it's perfect. This is on the called for fabric, which is 40 count ancient linen by Picture This Plus. So I'm going to fully finish him. I'm going to try to do him next weekend. I mean, it's maybe on Sunday, since Midsummer Stitch is going to be Saturday. But yeah, I have a bunch of finished cross stitches sitting in a pile, and then I have also a bunch of frames that I have thrifted, and so I was trying to sort of match them up and see what else I could do. And yeah, I just thought that the texture on this frame would be really cool with my raven finish. I don't know if it's focusing on that at all. So yeah, and this is like a nice thick frame. I don't know where I got this one. Most of the frames I have were thrifted, but some of them I pick up at Michael's when they're on sale. Oh, does it say? I don't know. This is the back of it. Okay. I think that's everything that I have for you today. I'm sure there's something that I forgot, because there always is. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that the video quality is okay since I'm using my laptop instead of my phone. And I hope that you get time to stitch, and I hope that you let me know if you're going to go to Midsummer Stitch so that we can try to cross paths in the virtual stitching tables or what have you, if you would like. That would be great. So I will see you back in about 2 weeks if everything goes well, and until then, happy stitching. Take care.